What is going on, guys? Thanks for checking out this video of my sports Gematria. In this video, I'm going to go over some NBA games for Friday, March 18th, 2022. I'm going to show you highlights of each side, and it's going to be up to you to determine who you think will win based on the numbers. I encourage you to add additional information on top of this if needed for you to feel confident in your own pick. And I wish you guys the best luck on all your picks today. Let's go ahead and get into the games. I'll bring up the screen here. We're going to be looking at the requests I got were Wizards versus the Knicks, Grizzlies versus the Hawks, Blazers versus the Nets, Nuggets versus the Cavaliers, Pacers versus Rockets, and Pelicans versus the Spurs. So we're going to go over those games in this video. I'm going to try not to make this video too long. I'm actually behind schedule right now. I'm making this video a little late. I stayed up way too late last night. I was typing up some college basketball picks for this morning or today. I stayed up way too late. It caused me to sleep in way too long today. Got my beauty sleep. But I'm a little bit behind, so I got to do this video pretty quickly. That way I can write out these picks in time before the game starts. So let's get into it. On this side of the screen is what I call my daily numbers, date numerology, Gregorian Hebrew calendar. And on this side of the screen is what I call my game numbers, numbers specific to the game. The way I have it structured here is I have the road team up top, their season record, their coach's record, their away record, any other notes I want to add. In the middle is the head-to-head record between the two teams all time and for the season in particular, as well as regular season. And then at the bottom is the home team, their season record, their coach's record, their home record, and any other notes that I want to add. So let's go ahead and just jump right into this game. Let's go back up to the top. I'm going to start with the Wizards versus the Knicks. All right, turned off my background light. So what you're going to see in a lot of these games is I don't have a whole lot marked. So we're just going to kind of go through them for the time being. And let's see if we can figure this out here for both sides. So starting with the Knicks, the home team, if the Knicks were going to win this game, I would just blame it on the 77 day of the Gregorian year. 77 written out. 77 written out sums to 175. And Knicks, they can pick up their 175th regular season head-to-head win against the Wizards. They would even the score 1-1 head-to-head against the Wizards for the season, like an 11. And if you write out the number 11, it sums to 27 and 63. And today has 27 and 63 date numerology on the Gregorian, the 77th day of the Gregorian year. 77 sums to 175. So Knicks can get that 175th win regular season head-to-head against Wizards as they even the score 1-1 head-to-head against Wizards for the season. 11 sums to 27 and 63. Wizards would get their 40th loss for the season as Knicks get their 30th win for the season, sitting on 40 losses. 40 written out sums to 30, so they just kind of go hand in hand, 40 and 30. Knicks could become 30-40. Wizards get their 40th loss. Wizards could get their 6th loss in a row. The number 6 sums to 29, and they would sit on 29 wins for the season as they do it. And I think that's all I had for a quick overview. Again, I'm just going to be doing this real quickly, like just a quick overview. I'm not going to spend too much time on these games. But I think that's all I have for right now. Let's look at the Wizards. If Wizards were going to win this game, they can get their 149th all-time head-to-head win against the Knicks. It would be for the same number, 77 date of the Gregorian year. 77 sums to 149. And it sums to 175. So it's either Knicks getting that 175 regular season or Wizards getting that 149 all-time head-to-head against the Wizards. The Knicks, they would sit on 14 home wins with the loss. Today does have 43 date numerology on the Gregorian. 43 is the 14th prime number. They would get their 41st loss as they sit on 14 home wins. 41 and 14 are just reflections of each other. 43, the 14th prime number. 14 also sums to 41. And Knicks would get their 20th home loss as Wizards up the series 2-0 head-to-head against like 20 for this season to go with. And it's the Knicks' 70th game for this season. Their coach, he can sit on 70 wins at regular season as a coach for the Knicks with a loss. And so that could be that for the Knicks to lose this game or the Wizards to win. Let's go ahead and move on. I'm going through these very quickly. Like I say, I apologize. I don't want to spend too much time. I want to get this out for you guys to have something. But I don't want to make this a 30-minute video. All right, Grizzlies versus Hawks. So let's start with the home team, the Hawks. If the Hawks were going to win, they could become 35-35 for a season record with the win today with 18-date numerology, the 77th day of the Gregorian. 18 sums to 35, and 77 sums to 149, the 35th prime number. And so that could be why Hawks become 35-35 for a season record with a win today. What else can the Hawks do? They can get their 23rd home win, potentially, as Grizzlies get their 23rd loss for the season. I don't know if there's anything in particular that directly connects with that. 53 to 16 prime. 163. Oh no. It is there though, 23 and 23. Hawks can sit on 20 all-time head-to-head losses against the Grizzlies, as Hawks become 2-0 head-to-head against Grizzlies for the season, like 20. So it would be for the sweep. Maybe this is where the 23 comes in at. 23 sums to 55, just like the number 20 sums to 55. So 20 sums to 55, 23 sums to 55. Hawks can get their 23rd home win. Grizzlies can get their 23rd loss for the season. Hawks can sit on 20 all-time head-to-head losses against the Grizzlies with the win, as they become 2-0 head-to-head against the Grizzlies for the season with a win. So that would be some numbers for the Hawks. If the Grizzlies were going to win this game, it could be as simple as Grizzlies 36 game on the road, Hawks 36 game at home. Hawks can go ahead and just get their 36th loss for this season. Grizzlies would sit on 31 all-time head-to-head losses against the Hawks, 31 the 11th prime number, as they even the score 1-1 head-to-head against the Hawks for the season, like an 11. If you write out the number 11, sums to 63 and 23 today with 63 and 27 today with 63 and 27 date numerology on the Gregorian. There's also 43 date numerology on the Gregorian, the 14th prime number. Hawks can get their 14th home loss to go with. And Grizzlies coach, he would get his 121st regular season win for his career. 121 has a square root of an 11. It could become 1-1, sitting on that 31, the 11th prime. So those would be some numbers for the Grizzlies. Let's keep it moving here. Blazers versus the Nets. We are speed rolling through these games because I am super lazy today and I slept in. I apologize. It's my fault. So let's start with the Nets, home team Nets. If the Nets are going to win this game, I like the Hebrew civil calendar. It's the 15th day of the 7th month, like 157. Mathematics tells us that 157 is the 37th prime number. Nets can just go ahead and get their 37th win for the season, as they sit on 34 losses in their 34th home game. They can get their 27th all-time head-to-head win against the Blazers on a day with 27 date numerology, as well as 43 date numerology on the Gregorian. And Blazers would get their 43rd loss for the season to go with. Nets can even the score 1-1 head-to-head against the Blazers for the season. Yeah, that's right. The Blazers have beat the Nets this season already. So Nets would have to even the score with revenge. And the number 11, we already know, written out, sums to 27 and 63. Today with 27 and 63 date numerology, it can go along with Nets getting that 27th all-time head-to-head win against the Blazers. It could just be as simple as that. For the Blazers to win this game, it could be as simple as them just getting their 27th win for the season. It's hard to imagine the Blazers beating the Nets again twice for the season, but if they do, there is that 27 there. It is a day with 27 date numerology. You know, you have two different 27s on the board, and they can go either way. Blazers would sweep the Nets 2-0, like 20 head-to-head against for the season, as Nets get their 20th loss at home. And we all know the Nets have stunk it up at home. They would sit on 14 home wins on a day with 43 date numerology, 43 the 14th prime number. And 43 written out sums to 59. And Nets coach would get his 59th loss regular season for his career. So those would be some numbers for that game. Also one last thing. It is the 71st game for the Nets. 71, the 20th prime number. So that could backfire for them to get their 20th home loss. For the Blazers to sweep the Nets 2-0. Wouldn't that be something to see the Blazers sweep the Nets 2-0? But that's both sides for you there. Nuggets versus the Cavs. Nuggets versus the Cavs. So starting with the home team, the Cavaliers. If the Cavaliers were going to win this game, they could just simply become 40-30 for a season record with a win. 40-30, which kind of looks like a 43. Today with 43 date numerology on the Gregorian, Cavaliers can pick up their 43rd all-time head-to-head win against the Nuggets to go with. Could be a little fun matchup there. Cavaliers, they can sweep the Nuggets 2-0, like 20 head-to-head against for the season. This being their second and last game head-to-head for the season. Cavaliers can get their 22nd home win as Nuggets sit on 22 road wins with a loss. Or just going with that 2 number, 2-2, second and last 2. They could become 2-0, 2-2 is what I'm kind of looking at. And then this is the Nuggets' 71st game for the season. 71 is the 20th prime number. It could be a reason why Cavs sweep 2-0 like 20 as well. What else? I think that might be it for the Cavs side, at least the ones that I've highlighted. If the Nuggets were going to win, we could just go back to the 43. They can get their 43rd win for the season on a day with 43 date numerology. The Nuggets can even the score 1-1 head-to-head against the Cavaliers. We know that today has 27 and 63 date numerology on the Gregorian. We know that the number 11 written out sums to 27 and 63. Nuggets can get that 43rd win as they even score 1-1 head-to-head against the Cavs, like an 11. The Cavaliers would get their 31st loss for the season to go with. 31 is the 11th prime number. And Cavs coach, he would sit on 66 wins regular season as a coach for the Cavs. 66 is the 11th triangular number. So it could be a bit of an 11 pattern there. And I think that's all I have for that one. The 52. I don't think I had anything for the 52. Oh, actually, yeah, I did. 52 sums to 43. Derp, herp, derp, herpy derp. So 52 sums to 43. Today has 43 date numerology on the Gregorian. Nuggets can get their 52nd all-time head-to-head win against the Cavs as they get their 43rd win for the season to go with. All right, Pacers versus the Rockets. Pacers versus the Rockets. Let's start with the home team, the Rockets. If the Rockets were going to win this game, we can blame the number 18 on the Gregorian. 18 date numerology for the Gregorian. Rockets can get their 18th win for the season. If you write out the number 18, 18 sums to 35. And Rockets coach can get his 35th win regular season for his career. Rockets would also get their 11th home win as they even the score 1-1 head-to-head against the Pacers like an 11. And we already know that the number 11 sums to 27 and 63. And today with 27 and 63 date numerology on the Gregorian. What else? Pacers coach, he can get his 737th loss regular season for his career. I don't think that has number properties. Let me see. 737. No, it doesn't. But what I was going to say is today's the 15th day of the 7th month on the Hebrew Civil, like 157, the 37th prime number. 15th day of the 7th month, 37th prime number. So, I mean, there is a 37 within that number, that's 737, 3773. So maybe it helps, maybe it doesn't. Maybe I'm stretching it a bit, maybe I'm not. Well, only time will tell. 859. Let's see what 859 is. I think that's the 149th. Yep, that's the 149th prime. And so that would actually favor the Rockets. The Pacers coach, he can sit on 159 wins regular season for his career with a loss, which is the 149th prime number today with 77 date numerology on the Gregorian, 77. Sums to 149. 149 is the 35th prime number. And then that would come back to Rockets getting their 18th win. 18 sums to 35 as their coach gets his 35th win. However, if we were going to pick the Pacers to win this game, we can say that this is the Pacers' 71st game for the season. 71, the 20th prime number. Pacers can sweep the Rockets 2-0, like 20 head-to-head against with a win. And then Pacers, they would get their 24th win for the season as Rockets get their 24th home loss. We can mark this in a purple color because on the Hebrew religious calendar, there is 167 date numerology on it, 167, and 24 written out sums to 167. It also sums to 103, the 27th prime number, and we know today has 27 date numerology on the Gregorian. So that could be a double thing for the Pacers getting that 24th win, Rockets getting their 24th home loss. It is the 34th home game for the Rockets. The coach for the Rockets can sit on 34 wins instead of getting their 35th win. And this is his 142nd regular season game for his career, the Rockets coach. And Pacers, they can get their 42nd all-time head-to-head win against the Rockets to go with. And 42 sums to 142. It also sums to 43, believe it or not, with 43 date numerology on the Gregorian. All right, so let's move on to the last game here. Pelicans versus the Spurs. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on my background light right now. All right, last game up. Spurs versus the Pelicans. We'll start with the Spurs. If the Spurs were going to win this game, question mark, question mark, question mark. Spurs can sit on 43 losses for the season on a day with 43 date numerology for the Gregorian. That can play in their favor potentially. We know if we write out the number 42, we just found that out up here, 42. If you write out the number 42, it sums to 43. And Pelicans can get their 42nd loss for the season to go with, as Spurs sit on 43 losses with a win. Day with 43 date numerology on the Gregorian. What else? What else? Today is the 15th day of the current Hebrew month. I'm not sure how much weight that holds, but it could be in favor for the Spurs getting their 15th home win in their 37th home game. Today is the 15th day of the 7th month, 157, the 37th prime number. It is March 18th, written 3/18 or 18/3. And Spurs coach can get his 1,338th win for his career. 1338 is just an anagram of 318 or 183. What else? The 22s. 22. 22 sums to 42. And it could be why Pelicans get their 42nd loss as they get their 22nd road loss to go with, while Spurs sit on 22 home wins or home losses with the win, as Spurs sit on 22 all-time losses head-to-head against Pelicans with the win. So you have this 22, 22, 22. 22 sums to 42. Pelicans get their 42nd loss. 42 sums to 43. 43 date numerology. Spurs can sit on 43. Also, this is the 79th all-time head-to-head matchup between these two teams. I can actually mark that in a light blue. The 22nd prime number. 22, 22, 22. Maybe this is a matter of who's actually playing in this game, because it almost doesn't seem like the Pelicans could lose to the Spurs or the Spurs can beat the Pelicans, but maybe it's just a matter of there's some players out for the Pelicans and Spurs can take advantage of that, or vice versa. I would look at the injury report for this one because there's some interesting numbers for the Spurs to win this game. But if we would look towards the Pelicans to win this game, if the Pelicans were going to win, one thing that I would say is Spurs can drop 2-1 head-to-head against the Pelicans for the season, like 21, as Pelicans sit on 21 losses on the road with the win. And they would get their 13th road win as they sit on 41 losses for the season, 41, the 13th prime number. Today with 43 date numerology, the 14th prime number, Spurs can sit on 14 home wins with a loss. Today has 27 date numerology as well. Spurs can sit on 27 wins for the season with a loss, and they would get their 44th loss for this season. And today is the 193rd day of the Hebrew civil calendar. 193 is the 44th prime number. I'm going to check something really quick. Oh, okay. Yeah, so the 27-44 can go against the Spurs. The 21 getting their 13th road win, sitting on that 41, the 13th prime. And, with it being the Spurs' 37th home game, today being the 15th day of the 7th month, the 37th prime, the 193rd day, the 44th prime, you have this 44 and this 37 right there. Maybe that's it for the Spurs. They get their 44th loss in the 37th home game, 15th day of the 7th month, the 37th prime, 193, the 44th prime. Could be a prime number extravaganza. All right. Well, hopefully this helps. I really appreciate you guys watching. I really appreciate the support. I apologize for going really quickly through these. I mean, it still ended up being a 20-minute video anyway. Sorry to breeze through these pretty quickly. It's my own fault for staying up way too late last night, but I had to get those typed up to get the college basketball games they're playing in the morning. So I had to get them typed up last night to get them posted. And then I just slept way too late today. And I'm just kind of breezing through this video for you guys. So hopefully it helps either way. I apologize if it doesn't, but if it does, hopefully it helps. I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate the support. Keep sending me those pick requests on Patreon. I'll continue to do as much as I can. I'll try and do as many videos as I can. I got a bunch of requests for tomorrow. Possibly UFC, possibly boxing, possibly college basketball, and possibly NBA. So I have a lot to work through for tomorrow. But I'm going to go ahead and finish up today's picks. I'm going to write these out, post them up on Patreon. Again, I thank you guys who are on my Patreon, who are making these requests or just supporting me, who, even if you're in the background and you haven't said anything, but you're just supporting me, I appreciate it. You mean a lot to me. You mean the world to me. And just let me know how I can return the favor. Send out those game requests. That's what I'm here for. I'm going to do the work or the games that you guys want me to do. And hopefully you win every pick for the board, every pick on the board that you make. Hopefully you win every bet that you make. Hopefully you win all the money in the world. And I'll stop rambling on and go ahead and end this video. Thanks, guys. I'll see you in the next video.